It's me, Ron Williams, guys. Welcome back. This is a video from the past. We call it a blast from the past. And the reason why this one is so important, guys, is it's talking about your joint structure. Protect the joint. Stay within the joint, build the muscle, protect the joint. The muscles grow, the joints wear out. God bless you. I hope you really like this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ron Williams YouTube channel. I'm gonna go over today, again, talking about the joint. The first thing I want you to know is with the elbow joint, again, in order to work the shoulders, you need your elbow. In order to work the triceps in the way that you want them to grow and develop, you've got to, the elbow joint is involved. So the elbow joint itself is really important. All of your joints are. But the thing is, we want to be able to work the muscle and protect the joint at the same time. When you're considering building a muscle, you've got to understand the fact that that muscle is attached to a joint. And that joint is important because if you damage the joint, you can no longer work the muscle. If my shoulder joint is damaged, it's going to be hard for me to work my bicep, my tricep, my shoulders, my traps, my chest, because the damage of the shoulder. If my elbow joint is damaged, it's going to be hard for me to work the tricep, to work the bicep, and also to work the shoulder. So I've got to protect those joints. Very, very important. If I sacrifice the joint for the building of the muscle, I'll build the muscle, destroy the joint. Now I can no longer even build the muscle because the joint hurts so bad. And you see people that they'll put bands and they'll put wraps on their elbows, on their shoulders, and all different kind of stuff, and say no pain, no gain, and they want to push through it. Let's try to prevent that. And they'll put, icy hot and all different types of ointments because they have such joint pain. Let's avoid that. We don't need ibuprofen. We just need to protect that joint, right? So some of the movements that we do, lateral raises. I'm going to show you that one first. So we have the lateral raises, where we're going up in this motion. A real key to that movement is forcing the shoulder down and the elbow away from the body. Down and away from the body. Now, the moment you grab hold of something, the first inclination is to pull. When you're doing your laterals, if you're pulling this direction, the breaking point is the elbow joint. When you're doing lateral raises on a machine, and the next time you do it, I want you to keep this in mind as you're pushing out, push with the elbow on the pad. If the weight is too heavy, what you'll notice is you'll start pushing, and you'll start pushing with the forearm, and you'll lose contact with the elbow. That means the pressure is going against that joint. The moment you start doing a lateral raise, and at the top of the repetition, your forearms are higher than your elbows. See that? Forearm higher than the elbow. You're actually putting more pressure on that joint than you are the muscle. So lighten the weight, get the forearm down, the weight will come. The muscles will grow, the muscles will tear, and they'll repair, they'll tear, repair, and the weight will come. Don't worry about the weight, concentrate on your form. That's one thing I like about the Russians. What they used to do is they would breed. They would take an athlete and mate it with an athlete, and they'd start them off on doing proper form at 3 and 4 years old. And then those were the ones that you saw doing the Olympic lifting and so on and so forth. So the important thing here is the form. Concentrate on your form. If you have good form, the weights will come. Now, the other exercise is pec deck. When you're using the pec deck machine, it's the same thing. As you're pushing forward, you want to force those elbows because when the weight gets too heavy or when you get fatigued, you'll notice this. As you're pushing and you get fatigued, you'll notice your hands start doing this and the elbow leaves the pad and you start pushing with your hands, also contracting your biceps, using other muscle groups. But the dangerous thing is you'll start to feel it in the joint. Then you'll start asking yourself a question. I'm wondering why I'm feeling elbow pain. When I'm doing my triceps, I'm doing that correctly. When I'm doing this, I'm doing it correctly. Where is the elbow pain coming from? Sometimes it's other exercises that you're doing that you don't even realize that that elbow joint is completely involved in being trashed because of the form and technique. You're concentrating on that weight, and that elbow rises, and all the pressure is on that elbow joint. So stop it. And I say that to protect you. Now, we have the skull crushers. Some people can get away with that. Me personally, I cannot. I feel the tension in the elbow joint itself, so I stay away from that movement. The lateral raises, I concentrate on the form. That's one of the best exercises you can do to develop the shoulders. Remember that shoulder is made in an arc. The chest is made in an arc. So you stay within that arc formation to develop that muscle. The bicep is made in an arc, so you work the bicep in that arc. But because that shoulder has such ability to move in so many different directions, you can manipulate and do some different exercises that may not be good for you. Okay, so we've got the elbow joint. Now the next thing I want you to see is the tricep pushdowns. And when I show you the tricep pushdowns, I want you to get an understanding of what I'm doing and where I'm concentrating and focusing. Let's go do it. There are a couple of things that I want you to concentrate on. Number one is this. First, getting into proper position. So the first repetition, we're in position now. We come up until we get a full stretch on the tricep. And we contract the muscle first. And then squeeze down, forcing the muscle to do the work rather than getting the momentum. Now, that's the way you want to do it. I'm going to show you a couple of times so you can see this, so you can note the difference. Okay, I'm in starting position. So, starting position, I'm pushing down, contract first, squeeze. Now, momentum looks like this. Putting my body into it because there's a sticking point. And I want to push through that sticking point instead of squeezing through the sticking point. When I squeeze through the sticking point, I'm forcing the mind into the muscle and forcing the muscle to do the work rather than getting a momentum. When I get a momentum, the pressure is on that joint. Whether I feel pain or not, I am putting pressure on the joint. So I'll do it again. So that's the first repetition. I come up. Wait till I get that full stretch. There it is. Contract the muscle. Now contract. Squeeze all the way down. Do it again. Slight pause. Now this is what you don't want. Another thing that indicates that you're doing it in a way that's damaging and you're not just using the tricep is when your face is no longer in front of the chain or the cord or whatever that is in front of you, and your head is to the side. That looks like this. You know what this means? You're now involving other muscle groups to help you do the exercise. You're altering your body so you can use other muscle groups to help you to get the weight or your elbows and your arms from this position to this position. So instead of staying in this position, you slowly move over, engaging other muscle groups to help with the motion. The important thing here, protect that joint, protect and build that muscle that you're trying to build. And if you have to use less weight, use less weight. The important thing is contraction and breaking down the muscle fibers, not hitting and missing, but concentrating all the way through so you get the development that you're looking for. And you're protecting the joint. So that's it for the elbows today, guys. God bless you. Comments below. See you soon.